God bless everybody today. It is November 23rd, 2022. It's 12:20 a.m. Central Time. I just saw some articles out here about how Erdogan is going to start his ground offensive. He's going to start sending in tanks and troops in the next few days. We have a new moon coming up tomorrow, right before the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And so I think there's a lot going on here. As you can see, Erdogan has started to ramp up his attacks. They're extreme at this point. I mean, he's basically bombing the whole northern border of Syria and Iraq. And if he starts to move these ground forces down through here, this is going to force the Kurds towards Iraq. And we talk about that Daniel 8 prophecy of the Kurds basically being manipulated and somehow, and I can't tell you how the Kurds are going to join Iran, because there's so much going on out here between the protests in Iran and Turkey genociding the Kurds towards Iran here in the near future. I just can tell you that Daniel 8 states that somehow the Kurds will align with Iran, and when that happens, Turkey destroys them. And so I don't know exactly how that's going to take place. I have shown you targeted dates that reflect the paradigm that I found, and those dates are January 24th, 2023 to February 14th of 2023, where it indicates in Daniel chapter 10, verse 4 and verse 13, that we would have a 21-day war against Iran with Turkey. Once Kurds align with Iran, we would see this happen. And it indicates that it only lasts 21 days, and that might be one of the reasons in Daniel 8 it indicates that it's like a whirlwind, that he doesn't, that the goat destroys a ram and tramples him, and he doesn't stand a chance, that it's such a quick defeat that there's just no standing against it. So Turkey is part of NATO, and they are the second largest army in the Allied Land Command. And so they've got a lot of pull here. This is going to be something that Iran's not ready for, or the world's ready for, when Turkey unleashes this thing. And he's been getting ready for years, like a decade or more, for this invasion. And even on my paradigm, we go back into October 9th of 2019 when he did that initial invasion. And yes, he's done other invasions. There was one back in 2016, but this one was when we saw this escalation of this 30-mile buffer zone that's led us to where we are here today, and I think that's extremely important. But you can see this is not a army that you want to mess with too much, and they've got a huge air force. And so one thing that I'm concerned about, and I think it's extremely important that we look at this prophecy in today's aspect, is this. So as much as Iran wants to believe that they're the drone king of the world, Turkey's been doing this for a lot longer, and they've really come a long way in their drone technology to the point where they believe that they can change the nature of warfare, as it indicates here. Now, one of the things that I think will happen is that we'll see Turkey unleash a massive drone attack, as well as air force and ground offensive against Iran. And something's going to happen with these Kurds. It's going to force them to align with Iran through all this madness, because the Kurds are sort of stuck in a rock and a hard place between Turkey genociding them down towards Iraq, down into Iran, as they're starting to migrate over the border, and all that western border of Iran is Kurdistan nations. There's about 10 to 17 million Kurdistan people in this area, and so this is causing a lot of problems for the Iran regime at this moment. So it indicates in Daniel's prophecy that we would see a 21-day war in Daniel 10. That we would see in Daniel 8, it indicates that this goat would crush the ram, and it would happen quickly, like a whirlwind. And so my question is, with Turkey being the second largest army in NATO, and they have the ability for this massive drone army to attack Iran, as once we see this alignment happen between the Kurds and Turkey, and I can't tell you how that's going to happen. I just know that the Kurds don't have anywhere to go. There's just nowhere for them to go. They're going to have to deal with Iran, and Iran's going to have to deal with them as their streets are starting to light up, and they're actually starting to shoot people in the street. This is going to come to a head. The population's going to put a lot of pressure on the government. This isn't going away. And so it's just a cycle until there's a conclusion. The conclusion will be, first of all, the Kurds and Iran somehow will have to, I don't know if Iran will attack them and they'll, figure out how to join, but it sounds like somehow they mutually come together, and then we have this destruction by Turkey. And so this is something that I think we really need to watch. So if we come back to this map and we watch this Turkish invasion that's going to happen, he's basically indicated he's going to bring tanks and soldiers into the area. So if you go into this Rutgers article, you can see Erdogan himself, the president of Turkey, is indicating that they are going to attack with tanks and soldiers in the near future. And this is an article that has just come out, within the last few hours here. And so Turkey's not sitting on this. They are going to go against the Kurds, but that's going to break down into an attack against Iran, and it clearly states, as the Bible indicates in Daniel 8, that this is going to end up badly for Iran, and it's going to be a quick decimation of probably Iran and the Kurds if they align, because Turkey has been trying to genocide these people for 2 decades or longer. As long as he's been in there, and he's been in there almost 22, 23 years. So, God bless everybody. I just wanted to give you a quick update on this. This is moving quickly. I just reported on, over the weekend that Erdogan has started this process, and now we're already talking about a land invasion. So he does have the occupation rights through the Syrian government to do this by land and air. So this is something that's going to be in coordination with the Syrian government, but then will also be in coordination with the Iraqi government before this is done. So God bless. Find the open door. Find Jesus. And have a great night.